Nviiri umekuwa wapi? It's been like 1 year now. Yes. Where have you been?
That is so true. Ni mzuri pia unajua baada ya kazi unapumzika kidogo.
Kidogo.
Hata kwa kazi ya kawaida mnakuanga na breaks. Yeah, and also it's a good space just to let people know that there's a transition going on. And I took that time and break to work on myself and with the new team, and best believe it speaks for itself as we're coming out sahi tukikuja kuongelesha. Tumerudi kwa town manzi.
New me.
Guess who's back?
It's you. Tell us about your new single, Run Hitao.
Yes guys, ngoma imeshatokea featuring Mudhoka. Mudhoka is a new artist in the scene, new kid on the block. What you wanna be when you grow? I wanna be somebody. We've done a single called Run Hitao. I thought of it being a good idea to have it as the first single, or rather as my come out single, you know, because it's also preaching the agenda that I'm pushing right now, which is I'm looking back to how I got my assistance into the industry, and I'm lending that helping hand again to guys. And I've seen a lot of potential in these young kids. I'll say young kids, Gen Z squeeze on to surprise.
Gen Z.
You know, Gen Z. You know, maybe a Gen Z
what's up?
representing, yeah. So Run Hitao came to be, and I'm glad the reception has been glad. Watu ndio wanamsikia. Now you even get to know there's a kid called Mudhoka, you know. And from one blessing to another, we are handing it.
You also changed your management from Soul Generation. Why have you changed your management?
Well, unajua ilifika masaa nikaona ile corruption inaendelea anyway.
Exclusive.
Anyway, nah, it's I call it graduation. We did our time, and it's only right that you grow out of it. And during this period we were equipped to be independent because that was the end goal. Na venye mnaona, before even we left Soldier, I already had my team. It's just recently that we launched the team to the public. And they've been doing things under the wraps from the Inside Out album. They're the ones who are handling it all the way to now as a preparation to the launch of a new era, which is the King from the East.
So what do we expect of the new Nviiri?
We want to see more of other people, not even more of me. So it's just unfortunate that Mudhoka is not here, but he's doing a production currently. Yeye nimewapea exclusive yako, anafanya video na haja niwapea exclusive ya Mudhoka hapa ya bure. Kuna video anapanga, he's about to release. So these are the things you should be looking forward to in terms of the new faces in the industry. Sisi tuko hapa kukaa na hii keki ni kubwa. Hatutoki. So hii keki, the much we can do is just share.
Your new album, Takeover, which genre will it be? What will it be about? Who are you featuring? Give us all the tea and the exclusive.
First and foremost, let people know that we have an album coming out.
Sorry for announcing it before.
Lucky are they that did their research pretty well and follow up with the story. Congratulations. Yeah, and so with this makes this conversation a lot easier. So ndakuanzishia tu kwa album yenyewe. So it's coming out during the end of the year, the last months of the year. Wengine mtafuata research mjue ni when. We are featuring kings from the East. We have people that have really made it in the industry in their own fields, and they're in East Africa. We have King Kivumbi from Rwanda. We have Mudra from Uganda. Yes. We have hiyo nimeforce hiyo information hapo jiingie kwa album. Management nimetaja hiyo, so mniingie tu kwa album.
Lazima by force.
We have Juma Jux Fanina from Tanzania. We are covering better part of East Africa to represent the whole King of the East narrative.
Speaking of the album, will there be a listening party, or what should people expect when the album is about to launch later in the year?
Yes. Keyword later in the year. But before the album, we do have singles that we've aligned for guys, just to tease kidogo. But the listening party will happen. Hii album ni ya watu, ni ya wananchi. Yeah, so how we're doing the listening party is not the normal way ya launch kwa clubs ama nini, where we are inviting guys over, we'll do our live performances. It would be a beautiful thing to have the fans have the album hata before DSPs. Muisikie kwa ground before hata msikie kwa Instagram ama mnasemaje. So we'll have a new part of that, and for those who want to partake in purchasing the album, we'll do have services for that at that point, and we'll have a good window of where we'll have listening sessions and everything. na mpate time ku internalize because it's a very personal album.
Speaking of Mudhoka, how did you guys meet? Were you guys friends previously ama mulikutana wapi?
Luckily I was reminded this story just the other day. I bumped into Mudhoka at Snowball Studios, and during this session we were having, I had a guitarist who showed up. His name is Bakari. Also very talented guitarist that I saw online kwa Instagram, na nikaona maneno yake. Then I figured, okay, how about we hang out? Because most of these creatives, that's how we create this new music. That is an album. We hang out with fresh blood, people who really have really are very passionate about telling their stories at this point, you know. Yeah. And Mudhoka was one of those guys. Alisikia niko kwa studio na beshte yake, akajituma, you know. And always you got to reward effort, you know. And during that time, Kambia, you can join in some of our projects and writing sessions. He ended up releasing a song, Delulu. Nikashanga kijana najijua, you know. I even reposted ikapata love, and then this guy nikapata, he has his own audience. Gen Z hapa, hey, part of the Gen Z man. It's a whole movement. Nimerepost huyu jamaa pia akona audience yake, akona love yake, and it's only right to have him establish that as a brand by himself. So very soon he's going to release something, and that's our life story. Yeah, till today.
What or who inspires you to make music?
It's been a self-discovery journey till date, and I kind of feel like the definition changes, but I've found the core of it, which is just the spiritual aspect. I have noticed all my songs, I'm preaching the gospel, honestly. Kwa pombe sigara ni kuambia kuhusu infidelity. I was just artistic enough kuwekea kama club banger, mna dance kwa club.
Kumbe you're trying to pass
but I'm preaching about infidelity, vitu kama kitenge pia. Kwanza ilikuwa story ya producer wangu hapo. Alikuwa anajaribu kudate mtoto wa pasi, like, but the spirituality part of it is really intense in that you tap into your audience, you see what's needed. That's why you can have songs that live on in my body of work, and you tend to listen to it and it connects. Inakupata kwa any season yenye uko. Yeah, I tend to gear away from, tumejaribu definitely is kaende the mainstream sounding in the IPA, and it's not fulfilling for an artist. So, and I've found a lot of artists right now questioning what's the it sound, what is happening, tufanye nini, and even the audience, I've seen a lot of fans complaining kwa Twitter akiongea about why artists are falling amapiano, they're falling afro, nini, because also their ears are kind of tired, and it's not just ears, but their souls are also tired. You know, you can only just entertain yourselves for this much. So I tend to bring back that spiritual aspect to it. So my music is more in depth that way. So in a way, I minister to people.
Your songs have a story to it. Do you think that has given you an edge compared to other artists?
It's just me tapping into my African cultureism, you know. Sisi kama Afrika tunapiganga story. Inafika jioni mnakunywa chai, unafika mali, hey, I just tapped back into my culture, and you find solutions there. Hey, wengi wenyu mnatafuta stories huko nje. Is the wrong place to look at it. To look for salvation. So me being a storyteller is just, I love that we have a lot of artists calling themselves that, and when you go through what inspired them is they really wanted a listening ear. By the time you add the storyteller, someone will listen to what you, not just vibe with it. Yeah, so it goes the same with filmmakers, with poets, with watu kama sisi, you know.
Is there a particular artist who you look up to?
In what aspect?
Aspect.
Maybe I am.
In terms of music, in terms of maybe even storytelling, in terms of how they write their music, or in terms of how they produce their music.
Yeah, in terms of storytelling, I listen to Ed Sheeran a lot. Oh. The fact that he would bounce on a beat, a fast track, nani R&B sounding, and still a storytelling. The club is in the first place to find a lovers of the bar is where I go. Yeah, my friend, nipo up tunaenda na unakaa hapo unasikia uko kwa club una enjoy vitu zako, but unasikiza story. Yeah, so that's definitely one of them. We have a lot of African inspirations that tumesikia kutoka the old days. Tuko na the Maroon wenye tumekuwa tukisikia na bado wako funny enough. These are guys that unashangaa Gen Z wanashtuka
unasema hey.
The late Oliver Mtukudzi. I remember seeing him doing a show on BBC. Nviiri, oh. Alafu akipiga tu story hapo ndani. It was captivating, and it would just get a whole minute. That's why I would want such next time interview Kai to Kai, niwapige tu story na wimbo, like an interview in a version of music, you know. And Bill Withers, I've seen him also do the same thing. And you see, and also.
Speaking of your music, what's your favorite song that you've ever released and why?
And mulizwa sana hadi kabidi nitafute. Na ni kama leo ndio ndaisema.
Sema.
I honestly believe it's Kesi Badai.
Why?
I was just known as the songwriter of Melanin at that point. So niko na msanii anajulikana acha nipige show, but kuweka show Gen Z bado tu walitufanya ile kitu. Tumengoja show hadi imefika saa 6 hakuna watu. But from 12:30 imejaa hadi we ran out of ticket sales. Nini hizo, what we call those, the ribbons. We just heading out to stamp. Then it occurred to me that these guys are waiting for their parents to sleep. Njoo kuje nje. Because if that's your target audience, be prepared for that type of an outcome. Yeah, so it was an eye-opening moment, and it was very funny.
Briefly, let's talk about you being a songwriter. How did your journey being as a songwriter start?
Nilikuwa natafuta pesa. It's initially I started as a songwriter. Then guys could not deliver what I was writing because bado nilikuwa shule. I didn't really know about the music industry. Then I started learning how to sing. That's how you got the storyteller, the artist. But by doing that, I was writing a lot, and we started hanging out a lot with Akina BN. And I worked at an entertainment studio, which was called Artville Studios. And everyone used to do the production there. Hapo somehow unaona kina Likiba, kina nani. Any international star kikuja Kenya, anaipitia hapo. So I remember after seeing this, nikiambia Odomolo, the producer at that point, nikiambia, we are very close to being stars. The fact that we are open to all this information. And when this was happening, we also put our cards up there that we do songwriting. And after Melanin, because Akina BN were genuine, were open enough to have us as young people write with them, which is the same hand I'm lending to new artists. And we wrote a lot of songs. Hata Senje nilikuwa hapo. These are songs we wrote way back. And then after the whole process, I got paid. Niko na okay. Si lazima utaseke tu peke yake tunangoja kukua hit. You can also build stars.
Actually, in Run Hitao, you said your new vendetta, if I may say that, is to empower young artists. Yeah. Do you feel like in Kenya, in the music scene, that's happening? Because there's this thing that's around that Kenyan musicians don't like helping each other.
I usually see a lot of artists help each other behind the scenes. It's just, people just need to be vocal about it. But also, we are vocal. When you go through our credits, the songs, utaona songwriters na watu tumeandika nao hapo. Yeah, so I think it's just a narrative that people are pushing around, but it's not happening that way. On the flip side, what we are pushing by assisting artists is we want to breed a new breed of artists, and a new culture of artists who are self-sustaining in terms of their culture, of their sound. And we have the new kids now who already are very vocal about what they want.
Tukimalizia interview, imbia watu something small to close it up.
Part of the new working inakuja nje.
Bas, a snippet.
Kwanza exclusive.
Exclusive.
Siku hizi mashemeji wana mechi odie, wanaume wako na vibeti odie, offside huonwa ndani ya neti, wachana nayo, chumvi imepikwa ndani ya keki, storyteller bado anadeti odie, hayo ni maswala nyeti, wachana nayo, ona faladush, analeta nuks, analeta ndani ya disco, ona faladush, analeta nuks, ati sababu ya disco. Siku hizi muko personal sana. Muko personal sana. Nataka kuongelesha hapo mjue venye muko personal.
Uko personal sana. Nimekuwa hosti wako, Gabriel Mosa. See you until next time.